What would you do if you were offered an insane amount of money to play a simple game? You would think that I was crazy, but for one man, this is exactly what happened. Introducing George. You would have to forgive his arrogance because he was a man that never caught a break in his life. He was given one bad deal after another, and when he received that text message that fateful day, he did what everybody would do and ignored the message for the rest of the day. What did the message say, you say? What was it indeed? It was only when he finished work that he had some spare time all to himself, and with a wave of his hand, he whisked his phone off his desk and went through the messages of the day. One by one, each message contained mundane topics of the day until he reached that message he neglected a few days ago. It said, "Do you want to play a game?" George paused for a moment and he contemplated the question. It was a simple question, a completely abstract scenario. He saw no harm in replying, even though a tingle from the back of his neck warned him that he should delete the message and have no part in it. You guessed it! Yes was his answer, and before he had the chance to put the phone down, it chimed to life with a new message. The message said, "Congratulations! In order to win £25 million, this game will contain some non-life-threatening risk. Are you sure you wish to proceed?" Non-life-threatening risk. This was too good to be true. George had always seen these game challenges online and on the telly, and assumed it was something like Russian roulette with a gun, or something that involved being haunted by a crazy man with a moustache. There was nothing to worry about, and for £25 million, there was no harm in saying yes. Moments later, a new message arrived. Go to these coordinates and await further instructions. So George packed his essentials as he made his way to the location outlined on the text. It wasn't far, and he'd wondered what kind of game would be waiting for him. Was it some kind of event, or would he have to play against other contestants? Perhaps it was a game show that would be broadcast live on television. Perhaps he would be a star. The arrogance of his thoughts carried on as he made his way to the location, and when he got there, all that waited for him was a barren field with nothing all around. With his disappointment settling in, he received another reassuring text. The game was on. He read the message. For half an hour, keep your eyes on the individual at the other side of the field. You cannot take your eyes off him. If you do, and he touches you, you will forfeit your commitment and become the game. The chilling words reverberated through his mind. What did it mean by forfeiting the game? What did it mean by becoming the game? His phone vibrated with another message. The game starts now. He wondered what kind of obscene scenario he got himself into, and the unrelenting urge to look into the depths of the field heightened his already curious mind. As he looked up, George refocused his eye and didn't see anything at first, or nothing he didn't register until he blinked. There it was, a sizable difference in object that stood out in the distance. An unrelenting sense of fear raced through his mind as this object, no, person, stood there staring at him. It had something on its head, but it was too far for him to see. Blinking again, the object suddenly materialized at a different location. How did it get there so fast? George only blinked. It was impossible. It couldn't move that fast. His eyes blinked again. It moved again. This time George realized it was getting closer. He remembered the text. For half an hour, keep your eyes on the individual at the other side of the field. You cannot take your eyes off him. If you do, and he touches you, you will forfeit the commitment and become the game. Although the message was cryptic, he knew if it got closer, something bad was going to happen. He had to stare at it for half an hour. How much time did he have left? He could feel his eyes beginning to dry out. The stinging sensation built up like an unrelenting chorus that was about to explode. If he blinked, it would come closer. Don't blink. Don't blink. Perhaps if he kept one eye on the object, he could alternate his eyes. Win the game. Left, right, always keeping one eye open. But the more he used each eye, the stinging sensation came faster. His alternate blinking got faster, and then he would mistakenly blink with both eyes. However, it was partly working. His time was getting close, and his phone announced that he had about 1 minute left before winning. Mistake after mistake soon allowed the individual to stand right in front of him. Just inches away, its cold military stare pierced into his soul. He knew if he blinked one more time, the game would be over and something terrible would happen. The wind blew ever so slightly. The breeze brushed over his eyeball and do you want to play a game?